Well, hello. So today we're going to speak about the death of Harambe at the Cincinnati Zoo, what happened, and how we can transform this particular situation into something more positive, that we can move into a different consciousness, into a different understanding. So first and foremost, if you don't know the story, I'm including links at the bottom. And I'm also including petitions if you already know about the Harambe situation in Cincinnati Zoo. Basically, what happened is that the child fell into an enclosure where there was a gorilla. At first, it looked like the gorilla was protecting the child, and then it looked like the gorilla was about to harm the child, so the gorilla was shot. And people are speaking, there's hashtags justice for Harambe because there's asking about the mother. Why wasn't the mother caring for the child? What about the zoo? Are there other means that the zoo could have done in order to be able to keep people safe? And so those are questions that people are asking. And if you're interested about those particular elements, and also if you're interested about Harambe in general and the story of Harambe at the Cincinnati Zoo and his life, you can go ahead and click on the link below. People Magazine did a really great article fact checking about the story of Harambe. So those are two really great elements that you can walk away with. But we're going to talk about the zoo consciousness. Animals have shown compassion, emotion, sentiment. If you have a pet, you know when you're upset, when they're angry, you have that interpersonal communication with your pet. You know that. So why do we think that zoo animals and animals in the wilderness do not have that same sense of understanding? We've seen videos of animals interacting as a human would with other animals and animal behaviors and things of that sort. So, and it is a common understanding. It is a common understanding that zoos create mental illness upon an animal. Enclosing an animal in such an enclosure creates mental illness. Now, there's various different kinds of zoos. The San Diego Zoo, I would have to say, is one of the most honorable ones because they allow the animals to roam free and people drive through the enclosures. I haven't been to it exactly. I don't know exactly what the full layout is, but I believe that that sense of consciousness of us entering into an environment of somebody else, I think is a lot more healthy for the animal in general. But I also think there's many more ways that we can move forward. Animatronics, television, CGI, interactions, and green screen. It could be an amazing, fun learning experience where we take the element of capturing an animal and remove it altogether. And encompass that with educational tools that are fun and exciting, and make the zoo a completely different experience than we've ever had in its switch of consciousness. I think we are understanding a lot more. Most recently, laws have been changed in California in order so that, SeaWorld could be more aware of what is happening because of the deaths of their trainers and just in general the enclosure of these animals and what it's doing to their psyche. So what do you think about the situation? I think it's time. I think it's where it would create brand new jobs for Americans. It would create tons of new jobs for Americans to just rebuild, remake the zoo. Just whole new concept, remove animals altogether. You can have animatronics, you can have all these fun things, but I think we need to move in that progression. At the same time, if you're in the Los Angeles area, I encourage you to visit the abandoned zoo next to the regular zoo. I do not go to zoos just because I can't. To me, it's too much. It's too much energy. It's too much sadness. When I look into the eyes of the animals, it just breaks my heart. I just want to like smash the walls and be like, get out. That's just me. I'm not going to do it. But that's just, to me, I feel the empathy of that animal and the sense of torture that they must be going through because they didn't do anything. I mean, spiritually speaking, you might be able to say that, but I think that in order to, as us, as a humanity, in order to progress into a sense of mercy and a sense of understanding, we need to start removing these elements and incorporate elements that include education. So I am deeply pained about the death of Harambe because people who understand animals, people who care about animals, understand that there's different hierarchies, and gorillas and apes have shown the closeness of elements to humans, and we don't know what this gorilla could have done. This gorilla could have, it was protecting him. There was a lot of questions, and there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions because the life of a child was involved. And I think that people don't necessarily, you want to keep the child safe, but you also want to, this is an endangered species and they're looking for him to breed. So, in order to populate the species of this particular animal. So these are questions that are deeply moving to our American psyche. What are your thoughts about it? What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with the death? And you can check out the links to the information about Harambe, and also, well, first is the petition, the highest rated petition, and then the second one for a law about torture against endangered animals, and the second one is for People magazine. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful year. Take care.